Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everyone's having an awesome week. It's hump day. Okay, so it's Wednesday, and we're halfway through the week, and hope everybody's crushing it. So, hey, if you don't subscribe to our newsletter and get our BOS emails, go to businessofstrength.com. You can subscribe to our email list and get some great content. Check out our podcast. Check out our 2-day mentorship. And subscribe to our emails. I send out several emails a week, breaking down lots of different aspects of the gym business and just giving everybody tips and tidbits. My last email that just went out today, titled "I made my last truck payment," so I'm sitting in it, right? And this baby's finally paid off. And the idea of the email was that there's two types of people in the world: those that lease and those that buy, right? And I was thinking great, like Pat Rigsby, and Pat Rigsby's book, The Ideal Business, it says a lot about create your business with the end in mind, right? And it was always my dream to have the Varsity House that we have now, but to do it in a way that we weren't accumulating a ton of debt, that we owned everything, and that we build a lot of assets, right? And so we spent a lot of time the first 8 years. We didn't have any credit cards, and we didn't even have a credit card. So we paid everything in cash. It came right out of the bank account, and if we didn't have it, we didn't buy it, right? And that took a lot, that handcuffed us a bit. And people say, well, you need money, you need capital, you need like a line of credit to grow your business. And I said, hogwash, right? I found used equipment. I paid people real smart. We just did without a lot of stuff. I didn't have a fancy facility to start with. I went from a garage to a it was 5,000 square feet, but it was a dump. And now that you look back on it, it was a leaky roof, flooding, like a mess, right? But we made it happen. We made the customer service amazing. We made the training amazing. We made the client experience amazing, right? And I treated my employees really, really well. And so there was a lot more going on than just spending money, right? And you could go back through the emails, and it's like another one that I put together called Mechanisms versus Intention. It was my intention to run an amazing gym and an amazing facility and provide an amazing customer service experience, okay? It had nothing to do with what fluff material, what fluff equipment I had. I didn't go out and buy, power lift equipment. I didn't go out and buy, some of the high-end stuff out there. I used to drive 5 hours out in the middle of PA somewhere with a box truck, and Dan and I knew a guy who had used equipment, and we would load up the box truck with stuff whenever we need it, and come back, clean it up, repaint it, and some of that equipment's still in the gym today. We hired slow. Every single full-time employee in my gym has come from internship, and they started off as an intern, with no pay, to a part-time employee with very minimal pay, to a full-time employee, and then to management positions, right? So they've taken several years, so what that does is, from a business perspective, it gives me an opportunity to grow, as opposed to a lot of gyms that come in, they got some money, or they're borrowing money, or they're trying to get a bank loan for the first gym, or they're borrowing a ton of money from their family for the first gym, and they're leased out everything, right? They lease equipment, they finance everything on the credit card, right? And they think, oh, well, I get all the points. I'm like, dollars don't equal points, okay? And no matter how you, I don't mean to throw my wife under the bus, but when she comes home with a pile of shoes and says, but they were on sale, I said, yeah, but it's still spending money, right? Like they were 40% off. I get it, but you still spent a boatload of dough, right? So, so the reality is that you're still spending money. No matter how you want to justify it to yourself, stop, grow slow, start small, create a product, create a brand, create an experience, and that can be done anywhere. I had an amazing experience in my shitty little 2-car garage. I had a line of kids. 20 kids would be waiting outside while there was 20 kids inside training. You couldn't even get in the place. It was so packed. I literally used to tell parents, when you come, they got to sit in the car until the hour. You can't come in early because there was no place for people to hang out, right? I just had a little box. There was no seats. There was one little stall bathroom. So my point is that too many people lease their businesses out too early and start making poor financial and poor hiring decisions that wind up put you back in a situation where you're not making enough profitability and you're not making enough money. Now, fast forward a whole bunch of years, 8 years into it, Dan and I said, look, we got to get out of this space in order to make the next move. We want to go big. We want to make it a home base, for 20 years. I want Varsity House at that point already had a great core group of employees. We had great systems in place by that point. We had a great brand name and a great community recognition in our area, and we said, you know what, we could double down a little bit here. We're a fixture in the community, and we could justify spending the money. That was when we took out our first line of credit, got some credit cards, went a little hog wild, right, and opened up the gym that we have today. And it was my position that me and Dan were gonna take a fixed income for a period of time in the last like 3 or 4 years, to be honest, right? And to grow our staff and to grow our gym. And I paid my people really well to make sure that their jobs and their roles were solidified for the long haul. And now that we have an amazing team in place, and I believe that I have all the pieces that I need to really scale my business, we'll have everything paid off, by the end of the year, and from that point on, it's going to be, a high level of profitability. But that took, we didn't move into we opened up in 2006. We didn't move into our new space until 2014, right? We own the building and property, and we're in this for the long haul. I mortgaged my life to own the building and property because I knew in 20 years that building and property is going to be worth something. So you might not have that opportunity, so lease small, right? If you don't own, lease small. Have the baddest small gym that you can have. There's going to be a much higher level of profitability in a small gym, right? Less people, less overhead, right? My electric bill is $2,500 a month, right? So in that respect, you can really gain a lot of traction with a really good product and brand and customer service experience in a small gym, 3,000 square feet. You don't need a giant center to make money and be profitable. I was much more profitable when I was by myself, and then when we were in the second gym. Obviously, we do a lot more top-end revenue, right? And our profit's higher than what it was then, but percentage-wise, right, the profitability was higher in the smaller gym, right? So think long and hard about every move you make, right? Think about assets and long-term play, right? You're in this for the long run. Once you decide to be a business owner, it shouldn't be like, well, if this doesn't work in 3 years, I'm done. It's taken me 20 years to get to this point. I've been training people since I was 19 years old, right? In their backyards, in the parks, right? Like so many other strength entrepreneurs and gym owners out there. I started in a shitty little 2-car garage. We moved our gym to a 5,000 square foot dumpy warehouse that leaked. The roof leaked every damn time it rained, right? With the place flooded really badly 3 times. We had a terrible heater. Air condition actually worked good. No fans, no ventilation, no windows, right? It was all like, it was like you didn't, when you open the door on a sunny day, you're like, whoa, I didn't realize it was nice outside, and it was like being trapped in a dungeon. So, and we made it happen there, and then, doubled down on ourselves, doubled down on our brand, and opened up our dream gym, right? And that took a while. That was 8 years into owning my own, since 2006, that was 8 years into owning my own gym, okay? And another, 10 years, so almost 18 years before I actually doubled down and got the gym that I wanted. So, don't think things happen just by chance. Don't think things happen super quickly. I made smart moves. I paid everything off. I paid everybody back. I didn't want to have that on me, and I was really careful about what we spent and how we did it. So, again, if you're not a member of our mailing list, you can go to businessofstrength.com, join our mailing list. Subscribe to our podcast. We just did an amazing podcast yesterday. You're not going to want to miss this one. I don't even want to tell you who it was and what it was, but that'll be out on Monday. We've had some amazing guests on the podcast, and we have our 2-day Business of Strength mentorship, and we have our next one coming up here in March 28th and 29th here at Varsity House Gym. You don't want to miss that. We're going to break down everything that you need to know to run a great facility: sales, marketing, employee development, lead generation, right? How to deliver an amazing customer service experience, and how basically everything that we do here at Varsity House, all the mistakes we made, right? All the successes we've had, everything else in between over the last 20 years. We're going to kind of open the curtain, show you how we do it, and have some fun in the process. Go out for some lunches, have a whole bunch of breakthroughs and meet some really cool people from all over the place. So hope to see you there. Hope to connect with you soon. If you need anything, let me know. Hit me up.